Welcome to episode 12 of a Target Acquired podcast. This is Swooper. I'll be your host today. We just got back from our Adepticon adventure, and it's time to discuss all the sweet Crisis Protocol reveals AMG gave us during the preview. Lots of exciting news. We're going to be eating really good this year, fellas. Let me pass it over to the others that are joining me today.
Hey, this is Sean, aka Reynolds Wrap.
This is Gary, also known as Crossroads.
Excellent. Well, let's just get right into it. So we had the Crisis Protocol preview. We're just going to go down the list of all the things we saw. Me and Sean were actually not at the preview because we were busy rocking out some doubles matches. So Gary's going to give us all the juicy details of all the things we start to talk about. The first thing they gave us were new affiliation packs, a bunch of them. We'll be getting 2 Guardians packs, a Midnight Suns pack, a Crime Syndicate pack, Asgard, Defenders, X-Force, Web Warriors, and 2 new styles of boxes. It'll be starter affiliation boxes. Gary, you were there when they talked about all the affiliation boxes. Why don't you go ahead and go through that?
Yeah, you did skip one affiliation box, which is probably the most anticipated one, and that is the X-Men, because everyone wants Magic and Colossus, and they're like impossible to find right
Oh,
now.
did I skip it? It's on the list.
Yeah, you skipped X-Men, but
Okay.
so yeah, the affiliation boxes, basically, long story short, what they were saying is they want to be able to keep bringing us models, keep the price point down, make it easier for less SKUs. And a big thing is that they were saying is they're going to be using these repackages to make adjustments to character cards. So instead of doing one gigantic character readjustment like they did the previous time, they're going to be doing them in these affiliation boxes. The starter affiliation box, they're going to be doing 10-man packs. So basically, it's going to be like half of a starter set. So the starter set's great if you want a buddy, you want to get into it, and you each want to play what's in the box, and you want the terrain, and you're going to be playing games at your kitchen table. But realistically, if it's just somebody that's seen a tournament and they're like, man, I really wanted to get into this game, and they're by themselves and they want to play X-Men, the starter set isn't really that great of a buy for them. So these affiliation boxes, what they're going to be is 10-man boxes for around $90. Right now they're going to be doing X-Men and Spider-Foes. They said that the ones like X-Men that everyone's going to want is going to be static. It's going to stay, whereas like the other ones like Spider-Foes and such are going to cycle. But they seem to be a really good buy at 10 models and dice and measuring sticks. So everything you need to really jump into the game.
Right? It comes with all the tokens and everything too. It's basically a starter set without terrain for $90. That's
Yeah,
insane.
that is crazy good value.
Yeah, if you haven't picked up like any of the sets or all of a sudden you wanted to get into Spider Foes, take a look at that Spider Foes affiliation box and you get 10 Spider Foes for $90. Phew. That is a solid box. Those are good ideas on AMG's part. Now I know you said that some of these characters in these affiliation boxes were getting some reworks. They gave you a little bit of some of those characters that are probably getting redone.
Yeah, they did go over a few of them. They brought up names like Magic, Colossus again, which was interesting because I didn't think they were going to touch any that they already touched before.
Bullseye was another one I heard.
Bullseye was another one they brought up. Trying to remember off the top of my head.
Well, we know Gambit because we already got his card early released as a prize support.
Yep, Gambit's going to be done. Well, he's definitely done. We've seen the card,
We
which
see
is
the card, yeah.
fantastic. Do you have that card pulled up?
I do.
All right. Well, I will let you go over the new Gambit card.
All right. So I don't think his defense has changed at all. He's still a 3/3/3, 5 health, 3 threat, size 2, medium move on a small base. And I don't think his attacks changed, but I'll go through them anyways just in case.
I think he lost a die on
Did he lose a
something.
die? I would
I'm going
have
to
to
look at it right now. I thought there was something that changed about. I know it changed from physical to energy.
Yes, so his second attack is now an energy instead of a physical attack. His attacks were 4/5/5 before, and they are 4/4/5 now. So yeah, he lost 1 dice on his kinetic ace, but it is now energy instead of physical. So yeah, just go through his attacks for anyone that's not familiar with him too much. He's got a bow staff, Range 2, physical, 4 dice. After this attack is resolved, he gains 1 power, and there's a wild push before damage is dealt for size 3 or less. And it is no way short. A kinetic ace is now an energy attack. It's range 3, 4 dice. It is a true builder, and it has a wild trigger explosive. Any other enemy character within 2 suffers 1 damage after the attack. Or no, before damage is dealt, sorry.
So new kinetic ace is a builder.
It is a builder.
It was not previously. You
And
got
was it range?
nothing out of it before.
And it was still range 3. So yeah, it's no, it was a builder before.
It was a builder.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see it. I'm dumb.
Yeah, I think you're looking at a 52 card pickup, which let's see, has changed a little bit. Now is only triggers on a double wild, and it gives out a stun. Where before it was
Just a wild, and then you got
it
for
counts
each
doubles.
wild counts as doubles.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about that because we get it all the time.
Spoiler alert. Well, I guess we'll go into his last ability, which is the cards always be in my favor when this character is attacking, defending, or dodging. Each wild in the roll counts as 2 successes. That ability alone is just amazing on him.
And it has skyrocketed his playability.
And let me see, is the other 2? Yeah, so he lost Accelerate Charge because that is now just a native ability. A little something extra, I think it's the same thing while this character is attacking during the modified step. It may use this superpower. It may change 1 hit to a wild for 1 power. Seems pretty good. And all his triggers are on wild, except for his spender is on a double wild. And then he has enhanced agility after the attack. Targeting this character is resolved. It may use a superpower. The attacking character suffers 1 damage, and this character may advance short. That is 2 power. So for a 3 threat, this guy is awesome, and he just gives even more stock to the Apocalypse affiliation, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that one's really good. You know what's crazy too is he gets like looked over again, of course, because he definitely got better. I feel like Dark Past will come up as well. So that's the card for him where during the power phase, if your squad is not using Uncanny X-Men, Gambit may play this card. Each ally within 3 of Gambit gains stealth until the end of the round.
Well, that's interesting because the thing is I feel like he would be your famine. He could also be death, but I feel like he would be your famine and take place. I think that's usually Deadpool's slot, right?
I don't know. Pestilence is Colossus. I know that
Yeah,
much.
no, it's usually the Deadpool slot is the famine, and that is your like back point holder because you don't want them within range 3 of anyone at the end of their activation. So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Maybe
He got changed to where you kind of want him in the mix. I think he's
right.
a better character than Deadpool, but because you want him in the mix, maybe he's better as a death.
I think he's better as a death, and then I think also all of a sudden randomly you're like, hey, I'm gonna give Apocalypse stealth. And you're like, what? Yeah, oh yeah, you have to be within 3 of Apocalypse, you want to attack him. Oh. So yeah, I think he's a better character as a death character now, and I think that card could be useful in like a bunch of different places too. You know, use Steve 3, I think is another good place for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Modoc 2 is not a bad place for him. Just more on top of more.
I've always been a big Gambit fan from the '90s X-Men.
Yeah,
So
he's always been my favorite X-Men, and it was very unfortunate that he just wasn't up to par on the table. And this is definitely a big help. So hopefully we get to see a lot more of him because I really like him. I think the model is also amazingly done.
I am actually really happy I have not painted this model yet because now I have a reason to do it justice.
Yeah, to try.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I like everything about him. This is a good fix. This is going in the right direction. I'm very happy with what we've seen so far for that. So then what else did we get? The big reveal for it was Phoenix officially has her card. We knew she was on the way. We saw renderings. We got to see the models in the case, and we actually got a special promo Phoenix card at Adepticon that was given out to everybody who played in the GT.
Yeah, everyone that played in Worlds. They wanted to make it very clear that this is Worlds and not a GT.
Oh, gotcha.
I got yelled at like 4 times during the event for calling it a GT. And Nate kept on coming over and saying, "This is Worlds, and please call it Worlds." I'm like, all right.
Gotcha.
He means that in a playful way. Anyone that is listening, obviously, not in a dick way. Nate is a great guy.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and go over the card? We can see she's got a lot of craziness going on.
Yeah, I mean, buckle yourselves in. She's got a lot of text here. So starting with her defenses, she's a 4/4/5. She has 7 health on her front side, 6 threat, size 2 with a medium move, and I believe she is on a medium base? Didn't actually look that up. Is she
She's a
on
small base to a large base.
small to a large? Okay,
Yep.
that's awkward, but sure, we'll go with
It's
that.
like Miss Marvel does the same thing.
She does. Miss Marvel, you don't particularly need her to be in range to do anything
True.
because. But yeah, anyways, we'll go through her attacks real quick. So first one is a energy attack. Bolt of Flame is a range 3, 6 dice. This is a builder and it has a incinerate on a wild. Next one, she has her spender on the side. It's Firestorm. It's an area 3 attack, 6 dice, 6 cost. Ally characters within range of this attack remove 1 damage instead of suffering 1 damage, and has an incinerate on a wild. Then she has her first superpower, Cosmically Empowered Telekinesis. It costs 3 power. Choose an enemy character of size 5 or less, or an interactive terrain feature of size 4 within 2 and throw it medium. To my knowledge, she is the first character that can do it without a card, throw a size 5 character. So she's the first one can throw Dormammu.
Well, there are like you mean for superpower wise.
First superpower. I know there's cards.
Well, there's cards and there's innate attacks that throw any size.
Yes, I mean outside of attacks. I'm just off of the superpower alone. I don't know if anyone else can throw a size 5.
Yeah. I think it's crazy that they did like, oh, you can throw size 5 enemy characters, but then the terrain they dropped it down to the 4.
It's to make sure that the size 5 that should be uninteractable anyways, there's just no question on it.
Right.
So, interesting choices there. Her next superpower is Rejuvenating Flames. Choose an ally character within 3. That chosen character removes up to 2 damage and a special condition from itself. A character may only be targeted by the superpower once per turn. So it's not bad. She basically makes herself immune to stagger and any allies around her.
I want to backtrack to the cosmic empowerment, the telekinesis throw. Isn't it odd that when it says choose an enemy character of size 5 or less, instead of just saying choose an enemy character, like they made a point to point out size 5. So is it future proofing?
It's probably future proofing. I mean, if they want to come out with Master Mold and he's a size 6, there you go.
Well, I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking like Giant Man, but even still, it's just like it makes me think like who the hell could be bigger than size 5? Like who's bigger than a Sentinel Prime that we could put on the table and actually see on the table? And I wonder like if that's it or if it's probably just for wording purposes, but in my head specifically pointing out size 5 as if there could be bigger could mean future things.
You know what? It might not even be for sake of sanity within a normal challenger event. That might be for any the special event cards, like the Dorm card or the Thanos events. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
So there might be something that releases through that would
True.
have a character that's larger than size 5, but not actually normally in the game.
Yeah, I could see that too. I mean, I would not be opposed to like an organized play event that comes with like a large model of sorts like that.
No throwing Galactus.
Phoenix can't throw Galactus.
But Immortal Hulk off of a wild can on Spender is automatic. Never mind. Immortal Hulk off his Spender can automatically throw Galactus. Where did we leave off? Okay,
We're on Burning Resolve.
Yeah, Burning Resolve. 3 cost. When another allied character within 3 would be advanced, placed, or pushed by an enemy effect, this character may use a superpower. That allied character is not advanced, placed, or pushed.
So it's just Shielded Mind.
Yep, for 3 power. It's not exactly cheap, but it'll probably save a game.
I wonder how often you'll have it online though, with the throw and everything else.
That's the thing. It's 3 power. You'll be thankful that you have it that one time, but I don't think this is an every game thing that you would use. All right. The last thing that she has on here, except for so you know what? I'll do the very last thing. Psionic Nexus. She gains extra power.
The Burning Resolve compared to Shielded Mind. So Shielded Mind is 2 power within range 4, but Shielded Mine only works on mystic attacks or enemy superpowers. So Burning Resolve works on everything.
Other than a throw.
Correct. Well, neither does Shielded Mine doesn't stop a
Yeah.
throw either. So
Yeah. Anyways, so strap yourselves in. This is the long worded one. I am fire and life incarnate. When an allied non-grunt character is dazed or KO'd, this character gains 1 Phoenix token. When this character would be dazed, it gains 3 Phoenix tokens. If this character has 3 or more Phoenix tokens at the start of your turn, or if this character would flip its stat card to its injured side, place Phoenix Unleashed within 2 of it. Phoenix Unleashed is now part of your squad. Move all power and all activation tokens and all Phoenix tokens to Phoenix Unleashed. Then remove this character from the battlefield.
that is some ability.
It's a lot of words. I can't wait to see how many people get shit wrong on this. So, we'll get into it when we get into her flip side. Those Phoenix tokens really don't actually impact her at all until it's Phoenix Unleashed. One other quick note, she flies and she's immune to incinerate and poison on her front side.
I don't get that. I don't get why we're immune to poison. I want an explanation for that one. I think it's just to stop her from not getting power for the purposes of her abilities when she flips, kind of thing. Like
I
you
think
want her
that's
to.
the main thing, is to make sure that she has the ability to actually get at least 1 molecular disintegration off before just dying.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I don't think the poison is necessarily a due to the character as much as due to balancing.
Well, that should be. You shouldn't just give them random immunities for no reason.
All right, so Phoenix Unleashed. I guess it's kind of a weird thing. This is the first character I think that that is two-sided, so I'm excluding or not including the Hulks. That doesn't have an injured side. She is healthy on both sides.
Yes, that is like a different model. These fucking hiccups, man. I've had them like all day. They're kicking my butt.
Okay, so I don't think her defense is. No, they did. She
But yeah,
lost
they
actually a
changed.
lot. Okay, so never mind. Phoenix Unleashed. Her defenses are 4-5-3 in comparison to the 4-4-5 from her front side. She now has 10 power, and she is a size 4 on a large base that now moves short.
10 health.
And note that she places within 2 of her old self when she comes out. So she moves quite a bit across the board when she flips.
So her transform isn't even just the one, like normal.
No, it's 2.
Into a big base. That's a long range.
Yes, it
increase.
is. I think that's really for lining up her spender, which we'll get into in a second. So, she does not have any gainer or builders on her flip side, or transform side, I'll say, because she doesn't technically have a flip side. So Phoenix Blast is a range 4 energy attack, 6 dice, 0 cost. It has destructive force. When creating the dice pool for this attack, if this character may choose an interactive terrain feature of size 2, 3, 4 within 4 and destroy it. Add the number of dice to the attack pool equal to the size of the terrain feature destroyed. Then, if there are fewer than 2 of this character's flame pillars in play, place 1 flame pillar within range 4 of this character. It is a size 1 interactive terrain feature. After this attack is resolved, this character gains 1 Phoenix token.
It's really interesting. I just realized she doesn't have a builder on the side
Correct.
or a gainer. Like
Yep, she's just stuck with whatever power she has. Then her only other attack is her spender, which is molecular disintegration. It is an energy attack. It's a beam 4, 8 dice, costs 6. After this attack is resolved, if the character is not dazed or KO'd, this character loses 1 Phoenix token. So for each character she hits, she loses 1 Phoenix token. Then she has Temporal Domination, is a 0 cost superpower. When this character is attacking or defending during the modified dice step, it may use this superpower. This character gains 1 Phoenix token and may re-roll up to 3 dice in its attack or defense roll. This superpower can only be used once per turn. Next, she has a sorry, words are escaping me. What are always in effect superpowers called?
Always in effect superpowers.
Thank you very much.
I think they're just called superpowers. And you have
Innate.
reactive and active innate superpowers.
Innate. Okay. Um, All are beneath me. When measuring range and line of sight for this character's attacks, you may choose one of this character's flame pillars and measure range and line of sight from it. If you do, after the attack is resolved, each character gains the incinerate special condition, and then the flame pillar is destroyed. I'm sorry, I lost who gets the incinerate?
Whoever you
Each
attacked.
target character. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, if it's a beam, everyone gets incinerate. Okay, makes sense after you reread it. And then lastly is this freaking wall of text. Untamed cosmic entity. During the power phase, this character gains one additional power for each Phoenix token it has. When this character dazes or KOs an enemy character, this character loses one Phoenix token. When another allied character is dazed or KO'd, this character gains a Phoenix token. Additionally, if this character would flip its stat card to its injured side or it has 5 or more Phoenix tokens at the end of its activation, roll dice equal to the number of Phoenix tokens this character has. Each character within range 5 of this character suffers 1 damage for each crit, wild, and hit rolled. Destroy each terrain feature within range 5 of this character with a size equal or less than the number of hits, crits, and wild rolled. Then this character's KO'd.
So
Everyone follow
weird.
along? I'm sure you did.
Yeah, it's so weird because like Phoenix Unleashed, at least from looking upon it, let's assume it's a good player and they really know how to balance out the Phoenix tokens. It almost like screams, do not interact with Phoenix Unleashed and just try to kill her allies.
I mean, it's definitely one strategy around it, right? And if you activate Phoenix Unleashed and you do a 3-character molecular disintegration, right, to remove 3 Phoenix tokens off of her. If you don't have Phoenix tokens, you don't get power on this character.
So you have to figure out a balance with this
Yeah,
character of keeping tokens at the same time not having too many. And you have to balance your Phoenix tokens and you have to balance your power in order to be able to get rid of said Phoenix tokens.
If you want to keep her. Now, there is another side that you can play to this, which is you just go for a turn of, I'm going to get as many damn tokens on her as I can, because she does not burn until the end of her activation.
Right.
So
There is
you
no limit to her tokens either.
correct. So you could just stack 10 on there and be like, all right, we're taking the board with me. I mean, that is a way of playing her. And that's probably the way I would play her because I'm just a sadist like that.
it might be a really good like last activation, like I need this to be my swing turn, send in the bomb.
Yeah.
I feel like as the opponent, I just ignore her.
That's what I'm saying. I think you ignore her and you wait for the opponent to activate Phoenix and leave her at like 4, and then you just daze or KO one of their teammates.
Yeah.
But even if you do that, she still gets to activate.
Well, I'm saying like if she activated early in the round,
Well, I
like
mean, I
if,
feel like if you're playing her, you're not going to do that unless you're an idiot.
or unless you have to, like unless that's your first, like we've all been there where you got priority and you're like, man, I really need to go and like activate my heavy hitter first.
Yeah. I mean, even if you flip her and she already has 5 on her and you just sort of like, you know what, I'm only going to get 1 activation out of her, you can gain 3 Phoenix tokens automatically on her by just doing 1 modify and 2 of her 0 cost attacks. And then just see what happens off the nuke. I mean, that's 8 dice. Statistically, you're getting 4 damage to everyone within range 5 is interesting. I don't know if it's good,
All
but
the
it could.
terrain within range 5.
Oh yeah, all the terrain. There's no terrain left on the board after that.
Sorry, Magneto.
You get power for it that time, and that's it. I don't know. I think that she is overworked as a character. I think they definitely overworkshopped her. It's really hard for me to tell if she's good or just terrible. I don't think she's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's gonna
definitely
be a
think
lot.
you need to put her on the table and see what it's like. Just looking at her, it doesn't really scream, you know, Phoenix threat on the board.
It's gonna be a lot of resource management, and I can see it. I can see it putting out some hurt.
I mean, I also see it as just a way of effing with your opponent. Because if you have a Phoenix that you're going into and you know that she's going to go nuclear, are you like trying to spread out your team so that way she doesn't nuke your entire team? And at that point, you might be winning as the Phoenix player just by making your opponent do that.
Well, it's also you got to think about like you're going against the Phoenix. You're trying to put your characters where you're not going to get beamed, but then she hits you with a Phoenix blast and she places a pillar within range 4 that now is a perfect beam that you didn't see because it's 4 away from where she was, and she molecular disintegrations from the pillar and incinerates all your team and drops 3 tokens off. I can see there being some plays. I definitely think she's a little bit more of a tricky character.
Yeah, I think those pillars are really going to make a difference.
Yeah, being able to play some range 4, that's a long distance.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty far.
And it's a place, so it's not even does it even line of sight? No, it's just 1-4 range 4. So it could be out of line of sight.
Yeah.
We will have to see. Only time will tell if Phoenix makes the cut.
I mean, I'm still going to buy her and I'm still going to
Well,
paint
yeah,
her.
well, I buy everything, so.
It is an awesome model.
I wonder if she's going to come with an ultimate encounter.
I feel like we would have heard by now, but maybe not.
Who knows? I mean, I feel like Apocalypse's ultimate encounter was kind of revealed a little bit like later on in a way.
I'm trying to think if they even showed her box or anything. I don't think so.
I also think Apocalypse's ultimate encounter came in his terrain, not in Apocalypse.
Yeah.
But we still have more cards to go.
Well, I do want to jump in real quick with Crossroads Quiz. So we talked about Phoenix, and on her front side, she has 4/4/5 on her defenses, which, if I'm not mistaken, that is the highest added value of defense that is in the game at 13. There is how many other characters have the defenses of 4/4/5 in MCP?
Specifically 4-4-5 or 4, 4, and 5 in any order.
We'll say in any order, but I do not believe there's any other than 4/4/5.
What are you talking about? We just have Gladiator. He's a 4-5-4.
Might have missed that one. All right, I missed that one.
So you're asking how many characters have a total defense that add up to 13 without
13.
using superpowers like Magneto and Professor X, for instance, that can just double judge their.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, Magneto uses his just to make it mystic. He doesn't like.
Yeah.
Because I would think Magneto would be one of them.
It can't be a super high number, so I'm just gonna go with a number that's high. Well, I already know you missed 1, so I'm gonna go with 8.
Oh, I think it's lower than that.
I don't know. I always guess way too low on these things.
I was going to say 5.
Now it is 4.
Okay.
It was 3. So the other ones are Dormammu, Loki, Prince of Lies, and Ultron,
Ultron 1 or 2?
Metal Tyrant.
2.
I was thinking Apocalypse was 1, but he's a 4-4-4. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, those 3 are 4/4/5s, and yeah, I missed Gladiator at 4/5/4.
Well, he's the only one I knew for sure was a 4-5-4.
I wouldn't have been able
he
to
is the
name
only
any
one.
of those. I just played Dormammu all weekend. I wouldn't have even said that.
Well, the way you were rolling defense dice that one game,
It wouldn't have mattered.
It would not have mattered how many dice you were rolling.
Not at all. That one, all of them fail. With that, we also had a reveal of Exodus for that new Brotherhood box that I was really hoping was going to be out before Timeline, but it's revealed now. Exodus is like a Cable 2.0. If you look at his card, it's pretty crazy. So he has Psionic Vampirism, a range 2 attack for 6 die, normal build. I got the hiccups, man. I shouldn't be reading shit.
You know what? I'll take it over for you, even
Yep.
though I'm already long-winded here. Normal builder, you said Mystic, I think. Range 2, 6 dice. After this attack is resolved, this character removes 1 power from, or 1 damage from itself, rather, and then it has a wild sap. Then he has another Mystic attack. Psionic Concussion is a range 4, 5 dice. It is a gainer and it has a wild trigger of pull after the damage is dealt. If this character is size 4 or less, this character may push it towards this character's short. Then he has one more attack. Its suspender is you can do nothing but fail or fall. Sorry, I'm failing. It's an area 2. Energy attack, 7 dice, costs 4. After this attack is resolved, the character may gain, the target character gains Incinerate.
Is that the first time Pool's been on a card?
It's the first time it's been specifically listed as pull. Like, I think, Man-Thing has a beck-in, but it's not called pull.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it anywhere else. It's weird that it's been this long without that word being a trigger word, you know?
Yes, and I just lost my freaking Exodus card, but, it's called Reel In on Man-Thing.
He's also for his defenses and stuff. I skipped over all that. He's a 4/4/4 for defenses. He has 7 health. He's cost 5, medium movement, 2 height. I'm pretty sure he's on a small base.
I need to reference there was a picture of him out, right?
Yeah, I have the picture in front of me. He looks like he's on a small base.
I'll take your word for it. Its first superpower is My Faith Can Move Mountains. This character may spend up to 4 power to use this superpower. Choose an interactive terrain feature within 3 size equal to or less than the power spent. Throw the chosen terrain feature medium. The superpower can only be used once per turn. Now I have hiccups. Thank you for that.
Dude, I've had them all day, man. They are rough. They're like hard hiccups too.
Yeah, as I'm going through this character, because it's the first time I'm actually reading him, he is definitely Cable 2.0. Next, he has teleportation, also known as body slide. Place this character within 2 of itself. The superpower can only be used once per turn. It costs 3. Then he has something really strange called telekinetic shield. I've never heard of this one before. 2 power. When this character or an allied character within 3 of this character's target by an attack, this character may use his superpower. Add 2 dice to the target's defense rolls against that attack. This can only be used once per turn. And lastly, psionic of the highest order. He gains an extra power during the power phase. He is immune to poison and has healing factor 1 and flight.
So his superpower is like worse than Cable's because
It's 2 power and 3 power, right? And Cables is 2 and 1.
yeah, teleport to so body slide is only 2 power. It moves the same amount. Telekinetic shield is more than once per turn. I don't think it has a cutoff, so you
And
can use it as
also
long as you have the ability to do it.
Cable's range 5, where this is range 2, right? Isn't it?
For what?
Uh, his builder is range 5 on Cable, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, he has that big old gun and stuff. I'm more looking at like the superpowers because they're definitely different, like attack wise. I mean, they do both have area of effects.
It is really weird. They are
Yeah,
so
he's
alike.
he's very odd. Why is he immune to poison? What is up with this? I don't know much about him. I just know he's part of the Asteroid M storyline, but he's an odd character. I think he's pretty neat though.
Yeah, I mean, so he can guarantee himself if he's in range of a character or within 2 of being in range of a character, he can guarantee heal himself 3 each
Mhm.
turn. I don't know if that's good.
I mean, he has 7 health, so the odds of him be down like 1 or 2 is pretty solid, and he has healing factor. So he's gonna
That
be
was
a
one of the heals that I was talking about. So he
oh,
heals 2 from his basic attacks and then 1 from healing factor.
yeah, he's gonna be a tough cookie. The downside though is that the vampirism to heal is range 2. That's rough.
Yeah. But he has body slide, so he can get in there. He's fine.
With that box, you are also going to get Avalanche and Lady Mastermind. We haven't seen anything about them, but I have heard rumors about Lady Mastermind that she will be able to use other characters' attacks.
That'll be interesting.
Yep, they said apparently they've been able to use other people's attacks and somehow balance it. Fuck if I know how that works, but that's pretty cool. I think the models look really great. I really like Avalanche. I've been like excited to have him for a long time. Exodus looks amazing. The Lady Mastermind looks like a prostitute.
Or the kitty.
But like,
That's a cat, right? Not a
so I
badger.
think it's a cat because if you zoom in on it, it has like spots and everything. But it's supposed to be like a psychic projection of a cat, I guess. I don't know. If you like painting this thing's going to be a nightmare. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I like Avalanche's model. I think they
Yeah.
did a really good
I
job
love
with
the
him.
old costume. I think it's a super cool costume. I almost kind of wish he was actually in Shocker's pose.
Yeah,
That seems like more of an Avalanche pose, but I'm still happy with it. I still think it looks really cool. I'm super excited to see what he does. We have another reveal for another box coming out. We have the Spider-Man 2099 box.
you want me to take this one? All right, Spider-Man 2099. Defense is a 4/4/3, 7 health. Cost 5, size 2, range medium. His first attack is a builder. It's range 2, 6 dice. On a wild, he gets pierce and heal. After this attack is resolved, if it dealt 1 or more damage, I can remove 1 from itself. His second attack is organic web shot. It is a gainer, so just a static 1, range 4, 5 dice with pursuit on a hit. So on a hit, he can move short. And then his spender, 2099, sends his regards. It is a range 3, 8 dice for 4. Before damage is dealt, the defender gains poison and stun. After it's resolved, the character may place itself within 1, and it has a wild throw. So before damage is dealt, if the defender is size 4 or less, the character could throw it short.
And those are all physical attacks.
Yes, all physical.
So his spider talons are kind of odd. Where in reality it has 2 triggers because you have to deal a damage and you have to get a wild.
Yes. But
Yeah,
with
that's
the pierce, it kind of helps.
oh yeah, it's just different. Something I haven't really seen too much. Also, who's the guy in development that decided to call his second attack organic web shot?
It's healthy.
I mean, like we all know what it sounds like.
It just reminds me of the part in the movie where they're like, it comes out of you.
Yeah. Why was it necessary to say it that way? Just you could have just called it web shot. I don't know, it makes it sound really weird.
Well, it's all natural.
Sure, but is that very important to this whole thing?
GMOs are not included in this web shot.
Yeah, that's
Gluten-free web shot.
that's very
Gluten is not organic, Gary.
It's all sold in the same aisle.
Okay.
Then we go into superpowers. We have Web Whip. No, say that 5 times fast.
Okay, so they're really going there then.
Choose an enemy character within 3 in line of sight. Push it towards this character short. Then place this character within 1 of the chosen character. And use once a turn. Cost 2.
you got scarlet spiders.
Yeah, Scarlet Spider's swap. Acceleration decoy. While this character is defending, during the modified dice step of the attack, it may use the superpower. This character may reroll any number of defense dice, including skulls. After the attack is resolved, you may place within 2 of its current position, and that costs 3. Future Tech Genius. When this character rolls dice, after the effect is resolved, if it contains 1 or more crit results, you gain a power. Additionally, this character ignores stealth, superpower, and cover. Has healing factor 1 and walk roller.
Acceleration decoy is stupid good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. The future tech genius is kind of weird about he only has 1 attack that's more than range 3.
Wait, what?
So like it doesn't really matter that he ignores stealth
No, it doesn't.
or even cover at that point.
No, because you're already within 2. So yeah, I mean, whatever. It's a thing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess if you had to shoot your organic web shot at someone.
And just remember, if you ever brace for impact with him, you should still roll the dice just to try to get that crit.
So what this is really weird for me. This character wants to fight. Why did they make a Spider-Man that
I
just
think they're pushing spider or web warriors into that fighty kind of area. So like you had Gwenom was pretty fighty, Scarlet Spider was pretty fighty. Um you have Spider-Man 2099 now. I think they kind of want to give you that option is what it seems like now.
Yeah, I think Ultimate Miles and Prowler are also going to lead into that.
I don't think Prowler's going to be a web warrior though. He shouldn't be.
I think he's going to fall into crime.
A spider foe or a crime. He's a bad guy. And they made like a comment of which spider or which prowler it was. So it's not the prowler from the standard universe. I think it's supposed to be his uncle.
Yeah, I think it's the uncle that was in
Right.
the movie.
So if it's his uncle, then he should be crime.
Yeah.
But who knows? Sometimes they really get you with those ones. In the rest of the box, you got Prowler, who's going to be Miles' uncle from the Spider-Verse movies, and you are getting Ultimate Spider-Man, which is Miles Morales, like kind of grown up and gotten into his powers and stuff. So he'll probably be of higher threat cost.
I'm gonna guess he's a 4.
Probably. That seems about right. I think Spider-Man 2099 looks fucking epic. Like, holy crap. killed it with that one. Uh, Prowler is in kind of a goofy pose, but still looks really good. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with Miles.
You don't
Prowler's pose.
3,000 lightning bolts?
That is so weird. I've never seen a comic book panel that look like, I know he has his little taser webs, but it's never been like he's calling, like, that's a Thor pose right there. He's literally Thor 2 right now.
I think he has more lightning than Thor.
Yeah, he
He
does
might,
actually.
but
He
he's like,
does.
if you just put a hammer in that backhand, he's in the same exact pose as Thor 2.
Oh my God, I want to put a hammer on them now.
It came with an extra
You
hammer.
get the extra
It
hammer and
did.
the Thor.
I hate that pose. I think like him himself looks really good, but the lightning and like how it is on the base is just awful. That's a big miss for me.
I am getting tired of their suspended in lightning poses. If anyone here hasn't glued that together themselves, they are a pain in the ass to set in
Yeah.
place.
But if your character is like, so if you think of all the lightning characters beforehand, Storm makes sense, Thor's makes sense, Electro makes total sense. And then you're like, Miles Morales. It does not work. It's a big miss on my part. That like I do not like it. So that's your first Spider-Man box. So we're getting a lot of these 3-man boxes now. You're going to get a second 3-man box for Web Warriors, where you're going to get Silk, Spider-Man Noir, and Spider-Ham. And this is the return of the two threats. Gary, why don't you or Sean go over that Spider-Ham card so I stop hiccuping?
Do it. Yeah, it was really funny because during the preview, they said, y'all said we wouldn't do it. You said we'd never print another two. And here you go. So, yeah, we have Spider Ham, Peter Porker. He's 2 threat, 3 health, size 1. So we have another size 1 in the game. Defenses of 2/2/2. So attacks, his first attack, Porker Hijinks, is a physical range 2, 4 dice. After the attack is resolved, you gain 1. So it has on a wild, slow, on a crit, stun, on a shield hit, elusive, and on a crit hit, push. So yeah, if you rolled like 2 hits, a crit, and a block, you would get stun, elusive, and push. So it definitely has, it lives up to the hijinks name. His second attack, also physical. Here's Pie in Your Eye. It has a wild shock trigger. It's range 4, 4 dice. So the third attack, the Spender, is Who's You Calling a Cartoon? It is range 2, 6 dice. Costs 4. And it has outrageously oversized cartoon hammer. After this attack is resolved, the defender has the shock and stun special condition. Oh, after this attack is resolved, if the character or the defender has the shock and stun special condition, it gains stagger. I feel like for 4 power, just give it stagger.
He's a 2
Yeah,
threat.
but
You
he's a
can't
2
just give
cost.
him.
How ridiculous would that be if you're 2 threats running around for 4 power and handing out stagger?
I would almost rather see it like 5 power and give stagger, or I mean, I guess the only thing is like the second attack gives shock, the first attack can give stun, so you can't even like.
Well, right. This is not a one-turn punch.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be for a 2 threat.
Well,
2 threat
also
shouldn't be messing you up.
he has no way of getting to 4 power without some assistance either.
Right. I heard somebody else bring up like Spider-Woman is an excellent one to join with him.
Yeah.
Oh, because she gives out shock and poison, right? Or yeah.
He has, for superpowers, he has Web Yoink, which is 2 power. Choose an enemy character within 4 and roll a die on a crit, wild, or hit. If the chosen character is size 3 or less, push it towards this character short. On any other result, push this character towards the chosen character short. It can only be used once a turn. Animation domination. When this character would suffer 1 or more damage, it reduces the amount of damage suffered by 1 to a minimum of 1. Oh, that's pretty cool. Spider nonsense. When this character is defending against a physical or energy attack or making a dodge roll, it can reroll up to 2 of its defense or dodge dice. Additionally, when the character suffers damage after the effect is resolved, it drops any objective tokens it's holding, and it has walk roll.
This character's goofy as hell.
Yeah, I
You
don't.
know what he should have had? He should have had Bob's like "Don't Die" thing.
Yeah,
as like a cartoon character, because cartoon characters never really get like KO'd or anything. I feel like
Unless you bring out the dip.
oh, that's true. That would be the difference.
I don't even understand like what he is supposed to do.
He gets you an extra character on the board, so you can go super wide with webs and be affiliated.
So I think the best thing on his card is that he's a size 1. That means that you can hide out of line of sight from almost anything.
Yeah.
Like, almost every board that you play on. Think of how many 2s are on it. Think about that board that we played at Adepticon that had the giant-ass fence that went around everything.
Mm-hmm.
He
You
just
could just
goes,
hide
"Cool,
behind it
you
and
hide
throw
behind it."
pies.
Yep.
I can see you. You can't see me. Here's a pie.
That's the goofiest shit ever, and that's what this character does. Hides behind cars, throws pies.
Yep. Occasionally hands out some conditions. He's pretty neat. He'll be neat to see on the board. We'll see what he can really do. I'm sure there's some kind of hijinks and stuff. I know some people were adding up points for Spider-Man or for like webs, and you can get like 7 wide at like a ridiculous number, like 18 or some shit
I
like
think it
I
was
was gonna
that.
say, I think
17. Someone
yeah,
said 6 wide at 17.
Yeah. So that's pretty crazy. It's a lot of people on the board. A lot of web swinging people. His model's pretty cool. I kind of wish his model was actually the art more than he looks exactly like if you look at the model, he's Mr. Mixelplick or not yeah, from Smash Bros.
Which
Mr. Game and Watch. The
I'm
same
old.
pose, the hammer. That's exactly what he looks like.
I'm old. I only played the N64 one. You must be talking about the GameCube one.
It's yeah, he was a newer character, but he was like the blacked out character from like one of the handhelds.
Okay.
But that's exactly who he looks like. If you just painted him all black, he's Mr. Game and Watch. I almost kind of wish too he was just like standing there, like Porky Pig style, and just had the hammer across his shoulders. And I would be totally fine with like a static pose.
I would have been happier if he just had both hands on the hammer, like he had just
Yeah.
smashed it into
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ground.
yeah. I'm good with that one too. Yeah, I definitely think that one hand is out of place. With that box, you're getting Silk. She looks all right.
She looks really proud of herself.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on her yet, I guess. And then Spider-Man Noir, which looks good, but then at the same time, it looks like Black Panther or like Night Monkey from the movies. Where I kind of wish we had a different, like, I wish he was standing up, like a detective kind of look more than a Spider-Man,
Yeah, but if
Batman
he
look.
was standing up in that pose, he would just look like Batman brooding instead of
But that's what he
Mark.
is, though, too, at the same time. Like, I think that's what they're trying to go for here. But I think it's just like a big black blob at that point. Like, it's hard to break up that big old blob of him.
Yeah, and I will say from a painting standpoint, because of his crouch pose, it's not going to be great to get a lot of the detail out of that model because there's not much to
Yeah.
highlight.
That's why I was kind of hoping he'd be standing up because it'd give you a little bit more to work with. Those were all the new cards that we got from these sets coming out, but we still have more models on the way. They showed off Blue Marvel and Spectrum are going to be coming out, and Spectrum will be leader of the Mighty Avengers, and it's been said that it's a new affiliation, not a continuing of Avengers. They said specifically an affiliation, but it could just be bad wording. I don't know why we would make Mighty Avengers a separate affiliation. I think that's weird.
Do we know who's in Mighty Avengers
They made
canonically?
a list, but I don't remember. So it's like Captain America, these two. I can't even
Looking at it, it
remember.
looks like Scarlet Witch, Vision. Hercules is listed as a main component in there. Maybe we'll get him released soon.
He was on my list of prediction characters. And if this is the Mighty Avengers, Ares was part of the Mighty Avengers. So an Ares Hercules box was on my list.
And we didn't get Sentry announced yet, did we?
No, we did not.
Okay, so he was also in part of the Mighty Avengers.
So we don't know too much about those two other than that. Then we had another box. This must be, if this is a 4-man box, this is a big box. You're getting Iron Lad, Kang the Conqueror, Ironmonger, and Rescue.
I love that Ironmonger model.
He is massive. That's a medium base, I'm pretty sure.
He's falling off of it.
Like, if that's a large base, can you imagine how effing big he is?
I mean, he's bigger than a Sentinel if that's a large
Yeah,
base.
but like Ironmonger's not really that big though in the comic books. So that's why I'm pretty sure that's a medium base.
Yeah, and it's the same size base that Kang is on, and Kang is definitely on a medium.
Right. I'm also curious if there's going to be anything. So, for those who don't know, Iron Lad is just young Kang from the future because Kang has ridiculous time shenanigans. But that's who Iron Lad is. And I'm wondering if there's going to be a card between the two to try to take those two together.
It'd be
I'm also
interesting.
curious is where are we putting these characters? Like,
Ball.
well, Iron Lad is part of the Young Avengers, and he's the only one we have so far. So where does he go? Where does Kang the Conqueror probably goes in Cabal? You're probably right there. Ironmonger's probably in the same boat. Goes in
I know they
Cabal.
made reference of Cabal and crime.
Yeah, I could see Ironmonger going in crime. Rescue is a good guy, but from what I understand. So I'm guessing she's just Avengers. That's a weird box of like four rant kind of characters that almost have nothing to do with each other.
Well, maybe it's the what if box.
Sure. It's just a very odd box. But the models look amazing. Like Kang looks great. Ironmonger looks great. I would like to see the Kang in color to kind of get a better idea of what's going on there.
I also want to know what they're doing with roles with him. There was a lot of rumors floating around that he's going to be heavy into re-rolls.
It makes sense though because uh that's all he does is like time manipulation of sorts. I was kind of hoping he would come with grunts, but at least he's there.
Grunts of himself.
Yeah, because that's like when I used to play a card game called Versus. And in the Versus card game, you would make the same thing how like this, where you make affiliation, you make an Avengers deck, you make an X-Men deck. Well, Kang was his own deck, and you just played multiple Kangs. And like normally you could only have one Captain America out, but Kang had a special rule where you could have as many as you wanted. So that was neat. So I was kind of hoping for something like that.
Oh, Q1 2026. He is so far out.
Yeah, it's a long time away.
So he's going to be like,
Right
it-
before Adepticon
yeah,
or right after.
he's going to be our Inhumans / Gladiator release from this year.
Pretty much. But there's also other ones too, because same thing, Q1 2026 is another 3-pack of Adam Warlock, Moondragon, and Quasar. This is the pack I'm probably the least excited about.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
Like, I know who Adam Warlock is, I know who Quasar is. I have no idea who a Moondragon is. I
It's a model.
like Quasar's look a lot. I think she looks really cool. Moondragon was really cool painted when we saw her in the case. She looks cool. At the same time, she's just in Dr. Voodoo's pose. I don't really care for these characters as comic book wise. Rumor is I think they were Guardians and maybe in other affiliations, which I'm guessing Moondragon and Adam Warlock might be Convocation.
I'm looking at her wiki page, and I'm gonna say she's definitely Convocation.
And apparently Adam Warlock has a permanent gem attachment, correct?
Yeah, they said something about a basically like a personal soul gem.
Does he
Which
have
fits
to
with the
take the
character.
soul gem though, or does he
No, I
just
think
have the
it's
effect?
on him all the
I
time, like
think
he
it's
gets the
just
effect.
yeah, like it's on his character.
I wonder if it stops other characters from taking the soul
That's what
gem.
that
Yeah.
was my question.
Yeah, they didn't specify. It would be interesting though if like you took him, like he has to have the soul gem, which means you can take no one else with the soul gem. Not that anyone's really beating down the door with the soul gem right now.
I did play against someone rocking the soul gem on Strange at Adepticon, which was strangely good, but also bad because a 6 cost Doctor Strange is not what you want to be rocking.
I don't even remember what the soul gem does. What does it do?
Every time he uses superpower within range 4 of him, he gains a power.
Okay.
So he was able to like always do his spender every turn, but he never got the activated trigger, so I didn't really care.
We're also going to have more for Q1 2026. The Warriors 3 and Valkyrie. And you know what's weird is it says, who's Elendil? Is that the horse?
I think that's got no. It says Elendil and Warriors 3, which means he's part of that Warriors 3, not the horse.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't it be that in the Warriors 2? No, it's the horse.
Is it?
Yep, I just Googled it.
Well, that's bad English. They should have said Valkyrie with Elendil, but sure, okay.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to figure it out. I was like, oh, that's weird. Because the Warriors 3, which I 100% called they were going to be on one base, they look pretty cool. They look just like their standard look they have in the comic books, like the first time you see them kind of thing. They're in a very generic pose. Valkyrie on the horse is apparently not the Valkyrie that we currently have. This is just a totally different Valkyrie, and it's just Valkyrie.
So this is really stupid, but if I might do the dumbest conversion you've ever seen in your life and buy a Lord of the Rings Elendil box and just put her riding on his shoulders.
There you go.
Just it's Elendil.
Size-wise will not work at all.
No, but just be like, no, she's on Elendil. That's what she's supposed to be riding on.
So these are all really cool reveals so far, but now we get to the best reveals. Q2 2026, we will be getting a box with Danny Moonstar, Jubilee, Havoc, and Multiple Man. This box is the tits, man.
Multiple man with grunts.
Yes. Like, it's cool because Moonstar is definitely going to be in humans. Oh, no, sorry, I'm not in humans. New Mutants is what I meant to say. And so that gives them support. Jubilee is finally coming to the game in her 90s outfit. I love to see that one painted just out of curiosity of how bright and yellow it is. She has the fireworks on her hands. It looks great. I'm really hoping she's a 2. She should be a 2. Havoc in his 90s costume looks amazing. I'm super excited about that. That's the costume I wanted. I'm so glad we did not go with the more current one. Multiple Man, this is the best sculpt I think they've ever made. It's just so perfect. You have Multiple Man just standing there snapping his fingers. Then you go to his grunts, and all his grunts are just doing random things. One's reading a newspaper. I can't really see what the other ones are doing. But
It
they're
looks
all
like
just
he's tucking something into his jacket on the far one.
yeah, they're all just doing random things, and they all look like they don't even care about each
Yep,
other, and
they're
it's
all facing away.
fantastic.
Like
Yeah,
it's
it's great.
perfect.
It's perfect, and like I can see his costume under his jacket, and it's like spot on of what it's supposed to look like. I'm super excited for that model. I have no idea how it would even work, where his like what his grunt mechanic is going to be, but I'm very excited about it.
I'm sure it's going to be pay power to put grunts out.
I mean, only one person does that.
Yeah.
So I don't think it will be. I think it'll be different. I think it's going to have some weird
I think
trait.
it's
Seems like all the
I think
grunts
it's gonna
have
be
weird things.
I think for him it's gonna be a defensive mechanic where you attack him and he poofs away and spawns his grunts.
I can see that. Or when he's targeted.
Yes.
Yeah. Like a fallback.
Basically.
Yeah, that would be cool. Also in Q2 2026, we'll be getting Sentinel support finally with Bastion, Nimrod, and Omega Sentinel. Bastion looks pretty cool. I have no idea what to say about Omega Sentinel from the rendering. He looks like Junkrat from Overwatch.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Right? It's very odd. And Nimrod looks amazing. You know, like we just said about the lightning, I
I
know.
was about to say
But
the lightning, man.
this is going to be pink lightning, and it's going to look so cool. And he's huge. He's on a large base. He's massive.
They had him painted up at Adepticon and it looked awesome.
He's super cool. I'm really curious about the Omega Sentinel because, like, in the comic books, the Omega Sentinel is just a person who's been infected by Sentinel technology. So it's not even really a character. Does that make sense? It's like a soldier. It's kind of like how if we have the 2 Sentinels, we have the Mark IV Sentinels, we can have 2 of them. The Omega Sentinel is a lot like that, where it's just a person infected. Because did you watch X-Men 97?
The new thing that they did?
Yeah.
No, I did not see it yet.
Oh my God. Gary?
I did not either.
Jesus Christ. Now you guys are missing out on like peak fucking stuff, man. That stuff's so good. But Bastion is the bad guy in the new X-Men 97, and he basically has sleeper agents everywhere. And those sleeper agents get awakened, they turn into Omega Sentinels, and they're just people. So I'm really curious of what exactly is going on there. Like that's got to be like a cheap, like a 2 cost of some sort just to kind of throw on the board because it probably doesn't even have a name. It's probably just going to be Omega Sentinel, Omega Sentinel.
That's not the only help that they're getting,
Right.
because they did announce that each year going forward, they now want to continue on with the crisis card rotations and have a themed crisis pack that comes out, sort of like how we had Gladiator. And this coming, or 2026, the theme will be centered around the X-Men and Sentinels. And with that box will be Omega Sentinel Prime.
Which that further makes me think that maybe this is a model you can take multiples of, kind of how like the current Sentinels are, where they're just like a nameless soldier. I think that would be really neat to add more of that to the game for Sentinels. It'd make them a very unique faction, a lot more options. I'm very curious because I'm sure Nimrod's a leader, right?
Yeah, he's
But
got to be.
in my book, Bastion is also a leader, but I don't think they're going to give them 3 leaders now. You know what I mean? So I'm really very, very curious about what they're all going to do, what their cards are going to do. I'm not going to find out for fucking forever, though. But that's all the reveals for characters and stuff. That's 29 models on the way, with 23 of them being brand new we haven't seen before. So that's pretty solid. That's a lot of stuff on the way. So with all these new models coming out, we like I said, we had 29 models on the way, and 23 of them we had never seen before. A couple of weeks ago, we made predictions uh, as to who we thought were going to be in this event preview. How did we do, Gary?
You know, I didn't do great. I really, like everyone else, and I hate, saying that because I feel like a sheep. I definitely thought it was going to be the year of Fantastic Four and Doom. I did remember talking about, like, if it wasn't Doom, it would probably be Kang. But no, I thought it was going to be the Fantastic Four and Doom. And, not this year. Maybe the next one. Yeah, outside of that, I mean, I don't really think that I hit too much. I would give myself an F on my predictions.
Sean, how'd you do on your predictions?
Well, thank you for counting up how many I missed. I got 4 out of the 23.
Okay, which 4 did you get?
I got Jubilee, Havoc, Adam Warlock, and Kang.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. 4's not bad. I definitely made more predictions than everybody else because I had way too much
Yeah, but you went in
thoughts.
the hole on a couple of them.
I did. I nailed a bunch of them. I definitely nailed Havoc, and X Factor. I got Multiple Man. The Sentinels I got for Bastion, and we knew Nimrod was coming out. He was told a long time ago. Kang called that one. Warriors 3 on their own base. Got that one. I'm trying to look at my list and see if there was anything else. I think that was it for the ones that I called out.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed you get Prong Man or whatever the hell that guy's name
Oh,
was.
Mudbug? And like I don't think the Spider-Man ones counted because like we didn't know that we weren't positive that Ham and Noir was coming out, but we definitely did call out that like, I'm pretty sure we're getting Spider Ham, we're getting Spider Noir, we're definite ones. I hoped we didn't get Penny, and I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, I didn't
I was pretty
include those
sure we
because
were getting a new Miles, which we did. I never would have called Prowler, and Silk would have been a reach. The ones that really stood out there, like I would have never in a million years, were Spectrum and Blue Marvel. I would have never guessed them in a million years. Moondragon,
Moondragon
never.
would nope,
Another Valkyrie, I would have never guessed.
nope. I thought we were gonna get another Gwen, but
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't. You know what? With the Prowler, I kind of wish we had him on the motorcycle. That would have been cool looking.
I would have put him on too large of a base though.
Whatever. All the spider foes are on like big bases anyway. I'd be fine with it. I'd let it go. Danny Moonstar is cool to get for like the New Mutant support, so at least that's coming. I was hoping for my predictions were Cannonball, but that didn't happen. And
Ironmonger, I wouldn't
Shatterstar,
have guessed.
those were my choices for that. However, you know what's really surprising is that Havoc is not with Polaris.
That you see, Polaris was on my list, and I'm shocked that she did not
Yeah,
come out with Havoc.
that is super odd. I'm also very curious with Havoc. Are we just shoving him under X-Men? And are we just going to give him a leadership, and the leadership is X Factor, but it counts as X-Men? Because I don't want that.
I mean, they've done that with several other characters already. I wouldn't be
They
shocked.
have, but then so the problem with that is you use the example of like X Force. X Force can technically be shoved under the same thing too, where they're all X-Men. It's just a different kind of X-Men. But they're not. They're a whole separate affiliation, which is what I'm really hoping that X Factor is a separate affiliation. I don't want them to be lumped in with X-Men. I want it to be totally different as it should be.
I mean, only time will tell.
I know. It's just like one of those things to throw out there that I really don't want them to be X-Men affiliated. Like Havoc can be, because he was an X-Man. Multiple Man, I'm sure, was an X-Men at one point. And that's fine for them to be in there, but I want that to also be its completely own affiliation with its completely own cards.
I mean, if they do just lump everything under X-Men, my God, that's a big affiliation.
It is a big affiliation, but it's also annoying because you're using cards that specifically say Uncanny X-Men, even though you're playing X Factor. And I just don't feel like X Factor in the comic books plays like how X-Men should. Because different times, so like this Multiple Man is clearly the detective Multiple Man from when X Factor ran a detective agency. And so that was more of like a mystery kind of thing where it wasn't really like big brawls. We weren't fighting Magnetos and shit like that. So that's just where I'm hoping that all goes.
And we need Strong Guy and Wolfsbane.
Oh my God, strong guy. Fuck, I want him so bad. I would have lost my fucking mind. Like, it was bad enough when I saw Multiple Man. I was so excited in Havoc, of course. But if we had gotten rid of Jubilee and Danny Moonstone and it was fucking Strong Guy and Wolfsbane, oh my God. That would have been the best box in the world for me. I'd have been so excited. Oh, Strong Guy. It should have been Strong Guy and Polaris. That's who it should have been.
That's weird. I'm looking up X Factor because I didn't know much about them. And it
Well,
looks like
so
there's two very distinct X Factors.
correct. There is the original X Factor, which is Cyclops, Marvel Girl, like it was the X-Men,
Iceman,
basically.
Beast, Angel.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't care about that X Factor, and that's why I'm afraid they're gonna get lumped into X-Men because of that. But then you have 90s X Factor with Havoc, and then you kind of have like the 2000s X Factor, which Multiple Man led. That's the best one.
And it looks like it changed from Archangel, Beast, Cyclops, Iceman, Marvel Girl to Havoc, Multiple Man, Polaris, Quicksilver, Strong Guy, Wolfsbane, and Valerie Cooper.
But then there's a new one that was Mystique, Sabretooth, Shard, and Wild Child.
I after the good one where Multiple Man led it, I'm like, you know what? That's just not the same. So now they have a new team and they're basically using them as like expendables, and Havoc is leading that team. And it's not a very good comic, honestly. The art's really weird. But yep, we're getting the versions I wanted, so I'm super excited about it. They know which comics were good. So I think that's all for all of the previews. That is our AMG preview review. We will be going over Adepticon as a whole in our next episode. It's just too much to handle for one episode. So stay tuned for that to give you all our thoughts on Adepticon's adventure.
And as always, thanks to all our listeners for tuning in to this episode of Target Acquired Podcast. We hope that you're enjoying the episodes so far. If you'd like to show your support, please like the episode, subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you're listening to us on. If you want to see more content from us, check out our YouTube, where we post all of our battle reports, and we also have been posting our podcasts. We also love for you to join the conversation with our fellow listeners on our Discord server. Come on over, discuss the episode, share your thoughts, likes, dislikes, and connect with us. Ask those viewer questions and help us know what content you want to see in the future. Links can be found in all the show notes.
All right, I think that leads us on out Target Acquired Podcast is brought to you by Game Chefs, your ultimate destination for all things tabletop. Whether you're looking for a new, exciting board game, assembling your squad for Marvel Crisis Protocol, or building the perfect Warhammer army, Game Chefs has everything you need: miniatures, dice, rulebooks, and the best community of gamers. And just for you, our amazing listeners, Game Chefs is offering 15% off your next purchase. Just use the code TAG2025, that's TAG 2025 at gamechefs.org to save on your next adventure. Roll some dice and level up your games at Game Chefs. Link and code can be found in the description. That concludes this episode of a Target Acquired podcast. See ya!